welcome back to Emotional Mojo. Do you guys know that saying, it's not you, it's me? Well, apparently that does ring true, and if you want to gain power and joy in your life, you do well to remember that. And here to share more is life coach and author of The You Factor, Leslie Strong. Perfect last name for the message you're giving people. Tell us about it. So you're a life coach. You've helped both men and women regain control of their lives. But why is there still this men are from Mars, women are from Venus kind of disconnect in the way that men and women think?
Well, we're different. Our brains are different. We're physically different. And because our brains are different, we assimilate information completely differently. So we literally are on two different highways of communication. And we think, and we have those expectations that we should be able to understand each other and that we're talking the same language, and we're not.
Not happening.
Right. So it all goes awry very quickly.
The women tend to have a really hard time, I think, with this whole being the victim, playing the victim in our own lives. Even Time magazine reported 75% of women describe themselves as unhappy. So what is the key to happiness?
Well, the key to happiness is, I believe, personal power. And personal power is, it's your confidence, your, as we talked about, boundaries. You were talking about that earlier, Jada. And the ability to change and have effect in yourself, instead of looking out there to everyone else to change and affect you. You want to do that for yourself, and that's personal power.
And I like that because I tell my clients a lot, personal responsibility is key in your self-esteem and building yourself up, because it's easy to take the victim role, but the opposite of that is taking responsibility.
So the things you say then that make a powerful woman, you've got a couple of things. Never making excuses, that's a big one, right? Don't be a victim, and don't sell yourself out. What is that third one? I understand the first two, but selling yourself out? What do you mean?
Selling yourself out is kind of on the realm of the boundaries. So we will give up what we want, our happiness, in order to make someone else happy. So, you know, when you talk about...
And then we complain about it.
And then we complain that
it's a vicious cycle.
It was somebody else's fault that we didn't get what we wanted. So it's a spouse, it's a children, you know, a co-worker, a boss. But selling out is knowing, you know, what your boundaries are and what you want, but not going for it, saying, oh, you know what, I can't, or I shouldn't, or that's okay. You can have what you want. I won't take what I want. You know,
and then we play the victim.
And then we play the victim after that, and then we complain about it, and then we lose all our personal power. It drains us. It's kind of like a cell phone, you know, your bars are going down quickly.
But how do you change that then? Because I think it's hard to put yourself first. I think you feel guilty. I mean, I'm speaking from personal experience. Well, how do we start making changes?
Well, as women, we are wired to bond and connect. That automatically puts us in that position of being at the effect of other people, right? If we want someone to like us, we're maneuvering to make that happen. And, you know, all I say, I don't tell anyone what to do or what not to do, but if we are in that negative place, we're feeling victimized, we're feeling unhappy, frustrated, resentful, unproductive, something's gone awry. You are losing your personal power. So it's like, let's look at what it is, and I have 10 power tools in my book where you can look and how to get it back.
And we've got a list. I mean, you mentioned tools to get it back. Here are the things that are draining you right now. Excuses and complaints. Having expectations, I'm assuming, of yourself and of others, right? Your assumptions, the words and phrases you use, and blaming others, events, or circumstances. I see that blame game a lot. How are we using words or phrases to drain our own power, though? That's interesting.
Words like can't, have to, should, shouldn't, but. Yeah, but. The can't, you know, can't, have to, should, shouldn't, they are words that we use in our vocabulary that don't allow us any movement or freedom. I can't do this says, I'm not able. Well, you are able. You're just really not, you're not doing it for one reason or another. I say use the words choose, and we just had that conversation on choice. Choose or choose not, because that brings that you're making the decision, the choice for you in your realm of boundaries and who you are in your own personal power.
And
this power.
I've done that before, where you say, I don't have time for whatever it is, whether it's exercise or daily meditation or prayer or whatever. And I've quit saying that, and I say, I didn't make time to do this, because it is on you. You have to take ownership of that.
And doesn't that feel different?
Well,
you don't feel victimized by your excuses. You don't feel victimized by your can'ts and your shoulds and your shouldn'ts. You are in power.
Well, that's what I admire about Tara, because she'll say, I didn't make time to exercise. This woman gets up at like 3 in the morning.
3 in the morning, literally.
Like, it's the only time I can do it. Like, it's nothing. It's cut and dry. And I like that. It's empowering, right?
It is empowering. And that's where you keep your happiness and your joy and your fulfillment and your productivity. and your motivation, because it comes from here, because you can't control other people. The three of you have been talking about that all morning. You can't control anyone else. You can only control you.
Yeah. What does this mean? You say the woman who's complaining with a latte or a glass of wine in hand never thinks she's responsible. What does that mean? How do we make that first step then toward a new start? I like my lattes.
And I'm feeling a little judged right now. So yeah, what does that mean?
Well, women, we need to talk to focus. And so we like to vent. But what happens is the venting and the complaining becomes us being really right about our situation or the person we're complaining about.
Yeah.
And there's no power, there's no movement forward. You know, I say to my girlfriends, you've got 3 sessions that we can chat, we can complain about, and then we have to move to solution mode. Because otherwise you live in complaint mode, and the complaint, when you're righteous, you have no opening for anything else. You actually, you know, if you look at your spouse, if you're complaining, he doesn't do anything around the house, how's that relationship going?
Right. Yeah.
You're in resentment
You
mode.
just said a key word, and that is righteous.
Yeah, and that juice of being right keeps you, countries go to war to be right.
Right. And they say, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? All the time. Leslie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Her book is available online. If you want more info, visit strongcoaching.ca. We're going to keep you here because we want you to play yes, no with us,
wonderful.
Okay? It's a really fun game. You just give us a yes or a no.
Okay.
We're going to ask you a question. So here's the first one. The 28-year-old actress, Rooney Mara, you know her from Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. She's landed a new acting gig, and a lot of people are fired up over it. Mara was cast as Tiger Lily, a Native American character in the live-action adaptation of that Disney classic Peter Pan. The problem, Mara is not Native American, so many are crying out that Hollywood is once again whitewashing by not picking a Native American or any woman of color to play the role instead. The studio must have anticipated this because it pointed out to Variety magazine that the Tiger Lily of Pan is going to be a different version of the Disney character. But despite that, here's the question. Do you think Mara was a bad choice for the role? I'm gonna say no. Wow, we all agree.
No.
I'd love some opinions here.
Well, I mean, when you're talking about characters, you don't often know who the voice is behind the character. They're choosing her for her voice.
Well, this is a live action, so it will be her.
Well, then they're choosing her for her talent.
Yeah.
And that's what acting is, right? You play somebody else.
Yeah.
You're totally in a new character.
You know, and I think there is so much out there about just wanting to complain and go against the grain. And at some point, there just has to be some acceptance.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Hey, so the editor of UK Vogue is coming out with some pretty straightforward answers for critics of her magazine using super thin models. Alexandra Schulman has argued against putting, quote, real people on the cover of her magazine because she says readers can look in the mirror and get the real thing for free. She added that she is fed up about questions of the thin models in the fashion industry. She went on to say, quote, I think Vogue is a magazine that's all about fantasy to some extent and dreams, an escape from real life. She says if they used real women, no one would want to buy it. So be honest. Would you rather see real women on the cover of Vogue magazine?
Oh boy, that's hard.
That is a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Not for me.
I
Not
think
for
I'm gonna
Vogue.
say no.
For me.
You know what?
Yeah?
I'm going to say
Give us a yes. Thank you for being honest.
I am. And I do, you know, I do love the magazines, but I want to know what everything's going to look like on me or on other people. And so I think there's a happy medium. I think there is the fantasy, but I think there's real world life in it too. And it doesn't make sense for me to see an outfit on a size 0. And it's not like I'm a small woman as well, but they still don't hang the same way on me, and then I get upset. So I want to know what is it going to look like on me, or and some of my girlfriends would say the same thing.
Thank you so much for joining us, Leslie Strong, everybody. We'll be right back. You're watching Emotional Mojo. Don't go anywhere.